just a vet day for him, and Greenlaw will be limited. Same deal from last week. Go ahead.
Kyle, with Trey and Debo, obviously they're very physical runners. As a play caller, how do you balance their physicality versus you have 16 more games left this season?
Trey, the quarterback? I mean, Debo's a physical runner. That's how he runs. Whether he's running it or we're throwing it to him, I feel it's the same ending. So that's what you always hope, and that's what you want with, to me, every single player that gets the ball except for a quarterback. Quarterbacks, you got to pick and choose. Sliding is the best deal, but sometimes there's ways to go down forward without taking the hits, and I think Trey's done a pretty good job of that. Did a lot better in this game too.
Has George made any progress with the groin injuries? Is it better?
A lot of progress. So hopefully we'll have better luck this week.
Kyle, in the game Sunday, what was your field level view of Lance's completion to Ray McLeod, and did you learn anything about him from that pass?
I mean, it was the exact same pass he threw to Ayuk the series before, just a high cross, and he was open, did a good job hitting him in stride. So
you said about your rookie runners that they need to be better without the ball. How are they with the ball? Are they decisive to the degree that you're looking for from
style of running, both of them. I think they're very similar. They don't mess around. They get downhill. Two types of styles that we need and that we like. But there's a lot more to playing football with us than just running with the ball.
And without the ball, is that passing game? Is that pass protection?
That's special teams. That's lining up. That's blocking. That's every single part of the pass play. It's protection. It's every single thing that goes into football when they don't have the ball in their hands.
When you say lining up, are you comfortable that they know it? I mean, it's an intricate offense, but are you comfortable that they know it well enough at this point in their rookie year?
I mean, everyone works at it, but that stuff's not easy. I mean, when you're switching Debo in and out of positions and switching backs to receiver and him to running back, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and people even know it real well, still mess it up. So it's not something easy, but that's what the pressure's on those guys to pick up faster than they planned on at the beginning.
And is it sort of a competition this week to see which one of those guys performs better as to who's the number two going into the game?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, that's what it was last week to see. You know, we knew it was just going to be special teams. This week we'll get a feel for them on these 3 days, and then we'll go with the hot hand in the game.
Is Brunskill any closer, or how much closer is he than he was?
He's closer than he was last week. He did have that setback a little bit ago, so you know, we were thinking he'd be ready for week 1, and he had that setback, so he'll be later in this week, and but I'm not sure yet. Not good right now.
Wilson's done real well when you guys have given him the opportunity. So what is it about him that you like?
He's such a good football player. Anything that we ask him to do, he does. Whether it's our third down back, whether it's playing a fullback role, you know, when our wideouts have the ball, in the pass game and the run game, he's been a starter for us. And he's a very reliable guy. When Jeff's healthy and able to stay fresh, he can play at a high level, and he's one of the guys that we trust as much as anyone around here.
Kyle, I've never seen a quarterback with 3 career starts face the intense level of scrutiny that Trey is facing this week. How do you account for so many people being so eager to write him off so soon?
I just don't account for it. That's just outside of here, and doesn't really have to do with what we're doing. So,
you guys have been interested in Marlon Mack for a while, it seems like, or at least dating back to last year. What is it about him that you like? And, you know, were you, I guess he's 2017, were you looking at him as far back as that draft?
Most I've studied him was college, and liked him coming out of college a lot, and I think we all did in here. Then I know he did good early on in Indy and had some tough injuries, but those are things our guys stay on top of throughout. You know, we all have rankings of guys in college, and then we see how they perform in the NFL. Coaches don't get to it much until they become free agents and stuff like that, but that's stuff our guys are doing all the time, and we got a list on everybody.
With Jordan Mason and Tydavis Price, how much do you rely on Elijah, who was in a similar position last year, where he had to come in after week 1 injury to kind of help them along?
I mean, we weren't totally sure. You don't know about guys till they get in this opportunity. And Elijah's rookie year, he missed about half of training camp. So we knew we had a gut feeling that he could be as good as he's ended up being. But you don't totally know on the guy until they get in the heat of battle. And we were real worried going into that game that, you know, we wanted to keep Raheem healthy, and he went down the second play. And you don't really have a choice to wait and see. You got to see what he knows and what he does. And Elijah, after that first game, showed the ability that he had shown in practice, but he showed the game wasn't too big for him, and he was someone we could count on. And Elijah's been a pro ever since week 1 of his rookie year.
Are you counting on him to kind of help them move into a similar role, or at least guide them a little bit?
I mean, you can hopefully they look at him as an example and what you got to do to prepare for a game. Hopefully they look at Jeff Wilson that way. Hopefully they look at Juice. There's so much that goes into a game, and there's a lot of thinking on it, and you don't want to think on Sunday. So that happens with the work you put in the week.
What's your strategy this week for trying to encourage a cleaner game in terms of penalties?
Just being smarter. I mean, when we go over all the penalties that we had, I think a few of them were definitely avoidable. But just trying to be more detailed in everything we do. Don't let anything slide. Point everything out. Nothing different than usual. I expect us to be a lot cleaner this week.
What did you see from the Seahawks in their game on Monday?
They were ready to go. I mean, I think everyone felt that just through the TV on both sides. That stadium was as energetic as I felt anything. It was actually a fun game to watch, I think, for fans and everything. But they look like they always do. I mean, they're going to play really hard. They're going to run around. They're going to hit. They're coached very well. They got a bunch of talent on their team, and didn't surprise me how they looked.
Coach, with regards to Kittle, how hard is it to protect him from himself? I'm sure he's itching to get back out there, but he's a guy that loves football. How hard do you have to stop him from himself?
I mean, we're used to Kittle. We've had him here for a while, so this is our 6th year being with him. So Kittle's, in his mind, he's ready to go every single day. And a lot of times he's right, but you also got to know that is his mentality, and that's not going to change. So we do have to protect him from himself in that way, and that's why it's kind of a team effort with deciding when the best is for him.
You said you're pretty pleased with how Trey ran as far as protecting himself. I mean, a lot of times I think he dove head first once and then he did slide once, but otherwise he was taking on contact. A lot of time it was very near the first down marker. Is that just kind of what you have to? I mean, are you saying, overall that was good because when you're close to a first down, lower your head?
I mean, he's got football still too, and so I just compare it to all the quarterbacks in the league who run. And there's times to slide, there's time to take edges and dive. There's ways for receivers who get tackled going forward, splitting 2 people where they're getting hit on the sides of their shoulders that you don't feel. You got to get down when you have people in certain areas that are vulnerable, but there's going to be some that he gets hit on, and there's going to be some that he can protect himself, and that's us for him and us to work through.
Take some more.
How do you think his processing is at this stage compared to where it was when he came in, Trey?
What do you mean by processing?
Processing the field, seeing the game, being cerebral, not staring things down.
I mean, it was pretty good in practice. I mean, he had one game right there, but I mean, he gets better at that each week.
How's Trey handled Monday and Tuesday coming back?
Great. Yeah, it comes back like the rest of the team on Monday, and we stay here till we usually finish reviewing everything with the players by 4. Trey's a guy who's always hard on himself, looks at everything hard, and comes in Tuesday and does all his rehab and gets ready. And like the other players do, we don't see much of them on Tuesdays. Gets a little bit with the quarterback coaches, but Trey does everything right.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks.